Guys, today we've got the most shocking things that happened in sneakers this year. We're basically getting Travis Scott Jordan 4s in 2025, and the Sneaky Sunday giveaway this week just got even crazier. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday, guys. We have a bunch to get into, but of course, let's do a release recap. It's actually a pretty big weekend, starting off with the Jordan 11 Legend Blues, or the Columbias. Now, I picked these things up on a shock drop that happened like a week or two back, but there is still sizes available. Just shows like how many pairs they actually dropped of these things. Either way, let me know if you grabbed a pair. Supreme teamed up with Sorel to release a boot. There was two different colorways. Let me know if you picked up either of these and what they're like. We had the Ding Yang Zhang Crocs, which are very interesting. Basically, he's a past Yeezy designer, and he recreated what a Yeezy foam runner would look like if it was made by Crocs. They dropped on the 12th. I definitely picked up a pair. Let me know if you did too. I'm so excited to check these things out. They look wild. Soleil Bembury and Crocs also dropped their first boot. Let me know if you picked a pair of these things up. I passed. This is just a very interesting colorway. We'll go with that. Then, of course, we had the big stash Nike release where they had two different sneakers, the Air Forces and the Air Max 95s brought back. And lastly, one of the wildest releases, I think, out of all of them had to be Nike and Cortez. So this was the black pair, or the pony hair pair. And the way that they released these is so interesting. So basically, I think it was a New York exclusive, and the location of where these things were dropping was a complete secret. What you had to do was find this newspaper, and then once you get this newspaper, then it will give you the location of the actual pop-up store, which then you go to and you can buy this pair of shoes. With that being said, let's hop into this upcoming news. First one, we've got to talk about the Adidas Fear of God Athletics Basketball 2 model, and this one's going to be a collaboration, which I thought was pretty interesting, and it seemed like a lot of people suddenly saw this and then got super excited about this collaboration again. So this right here is a Derrick Rose collab pair, or I guess something that they're sampling, and a lot of people really liked this colorway. The fact that they changed it up a little bit so it's not just, you know, pretty much monochromatic like the first ones. This one has the meshing in, I believe, white. They also swapped the laces out for something that's white. That top-down look does look pretty solid. It's crazy what just a splash of color can do to a pair of shoes to completely change things up. But it is cool to see that they will be doing some like other collaborations within the Fear of God Adidas collaboration, so this would technically be a triple collab. This could also just be a PE as well, and not something that actually releases to the public, which I think would be a little bit like, why not just, you know, make these things available? Let me know what you think of these down in the comments, but we have no official release information. We've got some official images of the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Year of the Snake. This one's dropping very soon, just around the corner in January, specifically the 23rd, and this is what it's going to look like. So it looks like they have added some somewhat decent materials on here. At least this leather looks somewhat cool. You've got a sailed out midsole, semi-translucent outsole. The rest of the shoe looks fairly, you know, straightforward, nothing too crazy about it, although I do really like around the back the actual Jumpman or the Wings logo. That's pretty cool the way that they did this, some kind of iridescent look. You get a dope hang tag and then a pretty cool box to come with it. I thought these things had already released, but we've got official images and a release date for the Fragment Nike Air Zoom Spirit On pack. Like we've gone over in previous weeks, there's two different colorways, the two-tone pair, the white and the black one, and then just a triple black, you know, colorway. Both of them are going to be dropping on the 17th. Let me know if you're interested in this. Let me know what you think about the Spirit On model. Is it going to be something that takes over like Nike is kind of planning? They're bringing back some OG versions as well. Either way, just wanted to give you a little reminder of this. I'm sure plenty of raffles are up now, but they should have the big Nike sneakers release on the 17th. Sticking with Nike, we just got first looks at an upcoming Nike Ja 2 Swarovski crystal collaboration, and this one looks pretty interesting. So just like the first model that he had with Nike, they did a Swarovski crystal version, super limited, and it might have even been a PE. You can see here, it's basically got like scratch marks on the side, and then that is where all of the Swarovski crystals are going to be. And the images are pretty terrible. Like this long one is just so blurry, it's crazy, but you can kind of tell like the inside of the shoe is going to have the Nike swoosh also in crystals. Overall, I haven't really seen any images of this second model. If this is what it looks like, it's not too far off of the first one. Doesn't really get me that excited, but I do have to say that this Swarovski crystal collab does look pretty dope. No release information for this, and I'm sure we'll get some much better images relatively soon. We just got official images. I feel like we've already had official images, but they're now available for the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG Velvet Brown. These are dropping on the 21st of this month. So this is probably one of the biggest releases for December. The Travis Scott Velvet Browns. People are going crazy for these things as per usual, and especially now that we found out that they're probably going to be harder to get than a lot of people originally anticipated. You know what that does to people, especially when it comes to a Travis Scott release. So yes, I would not take any chances with this one. I would not expect it to be easier to get, even though, you know, before we kind of thought, you know, are people really excited for this all over brown colorway? Well, now that they know the stock and they know that these are going to be very limited, they probably are. Resellers are going to be going crazy for them. It's like the biggest drop of December. Let me know your thoughts on this, but just wanted to remind you that release date is happening. It is confirmed for the 21st of December. This one's pretty interesting. So in 2025, we know we're getting a Jordan 4 Cave Stone colorway, which draws a lot of similarities to a sample or a PE version of Travis Scott's sample pair. Either way, this one is now even closer to the Travis Scott pair because it's coming with Nike Air branding on the back. Now, Nike Air branding is typically reserved for OG colorways, so they can make it as, you know, like close to the original as possible. Then all of the other spin-off ones have the Jumpman. This one, for some reason, is coming with the freaking Nike Air branding on the back, which is a bit surprising. This mock-up has been done by a bunch of different people to kind of look like this. Z Sneakerheads even did one that's very, very similar. So in terms of like what should be releasing, I think we've got a pretty good idea with this mock-up right here. I don't even have to tell you that if they look like this and like, you know, brown is a big colorway for 2025 and, you know, towards the back end of 2024, I think these are going to go pretty crazy, especially with that Nike Air branding on the back. But I don't know, let me know what you think of these. In terms of release date, it looks like they're going to be dropping at some point fall 2025. We do have a release date over here, but I feel like it's too early to exactly pinpoint it. So if we get any more updates, I'll let you guys know. Nike just unveiled their plans for 2025 and a lot of sneakers that are going to be dropping next year. So this is one of the first ones that's going to be dropping next year. In fact, it kind of did have a release on December the 11th. I don't know where or how. Maybe it was like a US exclusive or something like that. But this is the Air Max Muse, and I think it looks pretty interesting. Now, it is a woman's sneaker, so I imagine it only comes in a woman's size run. Similar colors, completely different sneaker. This is the Air Superfly, and this one is kind of, I don't know if I would necessarily say like a Samba competitor. The super slim shoe thing has been like super popular, and Adidas has kind of been dominating in that realm, so I imagine, you know, Nike decided to bring these things back as a direct competitor. Something that we knew was going to happen, but now it's confirmed by Nike. We're getting the Nike Air Diamond Turf from 1993. This is the Atlanta colorway that's going to be dropping spring 2025. Then we got a couple different colorways of the Nike Air Tech Challenge, which a lot of people really liked. They did, I think, 1 or 2 different pairs that they dropped this year. People loved them. So yeah, they're going to be leaning into that. And this is the next 2 colorways that are going to be dropping. Then we got this kind of like football wave that they're going with. So this is kind of like a mashup shoe. This is the Nike Total 90 3SP. Now, I assume this pair of sneakers already existed. I know the football or the cleat version of this because I used to play with this pair of shoes, the Total 90s, back in the day. I remember like Wayne Rooney used to play in these things, and I used to love this pair of shoes, but that was only in like the cleat version. I haven't seen a sneaker version of this, but apparently they're going hard with this. A bunch of different colorways, summer 2025. Then we got the Nike Gatto pack, which is a freaking gold and silver colorway. This one is absolutely crazy. These are going to be dropping in 2025. I've never seen this pair of shoes before, or maybe just the freaking, you know, super shiny gold and silver is throwing me off. This is another summer 2025 release. Then we got the P-Rods coming back for Nike SB. So this is the Nike SB P-Rod 1, is now confirmed to return spring 2025, and I think this is the only colorway that we've seen. Then we got more colorways, or more, I guess, versions of the ACG Rufus. They did a few this year. Nothing really seemed to land, so this time they've kind of gone for like a different material, some kind of canvas one. Spring 2025 for those. Very similar to that, some kind of moccasin, but this is the ACG Watercat Plus. This one's also a spring 2025 release. Some more Air Maxes. This one's very interesting, something that we did speak about before and that we knew was coming back. This is the Air Max Craze, which I think they're going to do a few different collaborations that we've seen. Either way, this is the bright citrus colorway dropping spring 2025. The Air Max Plus is coming back in the OG Hyper Blue colorway spring 2025 as well. Oof, then we got a real shock to the eyeballs over here with a Valentine's Day the Air Max 1, which is pretty crazy. These are going to be dropping, I guess, early Valentine's Day 2025. Something that we knew was going to be happening. We're getting the OG Neon 95s back, and that is a summer 2025 release, although it could coincide with Air Max Day, which would take place, I believe, in March, so we'll have to wait and see. Either way, that is everything that they showed off. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. What do you think of the catalog from Nike for 2025? Definitely some very interesting choices to bring back. Hopefully they focus on more new sneakers next year. All right, giveaway time. Let's talk about this. So basically on Wednesday's video, we picked a winner for the mystery box, which is back over there, and he never replied. In fact, he never even accepted my friend request. So we're going to be redrawing for that one again on Wednesday. So this week we've got two different giveaways, the mystery box, and then the next one, let me show you what we got. This is this week's giveaway. It's a Panda Prank custom shoe. Now, I wanted to do something pretty special and not just like a regular pair of shoes that anybody could buy. This one is a very unique pair. So this right here is a custom pair of shoes. Basically a one of one. Well, it's not one of one because you can buy it from Panda Prank, but this is a mashup Vibram collaboration. They put a Nike Dunk on the upper and then a huge chunky ACG style outsole on it with Vibram. These things are like super expensive. I think if you wanted to buy them from Panda Prank, you're looking at about $500. So this is a really cool pair of shoes, super unique. Let me just give them away to somebody. I really like them. Hopefully you do too, but this is this week's giveaway. I wanted to do something a little bit more special, you know, not just a regular ass pair of shoes. So if you enter for the giveaway, this is what you're entering for, as well as that mystery box. There's going to be two winners and we're going to pick them on Wednesday. So again, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down in the comment section with your Instagram or Twitter handle so I can contact you. And like I said, catch you on Wednesday and we'll find out our winners. We just got some on-foot shots finally of the Supreme Nike SB Dunk Low. So this is just one of 5 different colorways that's going to drop. So this is the purple and I guess gray colorway, or it kind of looks like anthracite. So this is what they look like on foot. You got the 94 at the back. Definitely this nice suede material, which looks pretty cool. I don't mind these. I think this might be one of my favorite colorways. We'll scroll down, take a look at these, and then I'll show you some of the other colorways that are going to be dropping. We got this blue one, very similar, just literally a different colorway. And then we've got an all over black pair, and then this one's probably my least favorite. This one actually comes in leather instead of the suede. It basically looks like a GR pair of Dunks with the 94 at the back. Then we got this one over here, green and gray, and then another blue and black, and then obviously this purple one. So yeah, 5 pairs in total. It's a little bit confusing because we haven't seen them all fully. I assume some of them are going to be like more limited than others, or maybe like some kind of exclusives, maybe in store, something like that. But yeah, all of these are going to be dropping early next year. We just got a new leak that there's going to be an Air Jordan 5 medium soft pink coming next year. This is what they're supposed to look like. Obviously this is a speculative mock-up, but these things are very far away. Holiday 2025, so literally a year away. But while we're talking about Jordan 5s, let's run through, just quickly recap all of the Jordan 5s dropping next year, because there's quite a few. So it's going to be the 35th anniversary for the Jordan 5 model. That's why we didn't really see too many this year. A lot of them are going to be dropping next year. So here's some of the ones that are going to be dropping. We've got the Earth Brown Jordan 5s. That's this one over here. Obviously, we got the black metallics. That's probably the biggest one that's dropping next year. We've got an Imam and Yer collaboration dropping on May the 14th. We've got the OG Grapes. These are supposed to be sometime during the fall season, July, September 2025. We got the Luminous Green colorway. This one's just a woman's pair, and that's July the 5th. We got the OG Fire Reds, this time with the black tongue. That's going to be a big one as well, July 26th. Then we got a couple Awake New York collaborations. This pink one over here, August 29th, is called Pink Ice, and a black colorway, which I think looks pretty cool if it does look like this speculative mock-up, and that is September the 19th. Medium soft pink, just spoke about that one, holiday next year. And then a PSG collaboration, which is pretty interesting. So 2 really big ones in my opinion. Obviously has to be the Fire Reds and the black metallics. Maybe they do something cool with the Imam and Yer, but I don't know, the last ones were kind of just okay. But let me know, out of all of these 5s, which one is your top priority? I know for most people it's going to be the black metallics, but let me know down in the comments. It'll be interesting to see. We just got official images of Nike's brand new Air Max model for next year, and I'm really keen to hear what you guys have to say about these things. Is this the next big thing for Nike? Is it going to be all of the the innovation that they so desperately need right now. This is the Air Max DN8. So this is the neon colorway, heavily inspired by the 95s, I believe, or at least in that same vein. And it's basically just like a part 2 to the DNs that dropped at the beginning of this year. So they obviously have like these circular Air Max units, or the air bubbles in here. So instead of doing 4, they decided to do 8 and then just called it the DN8. What really kind of annoys me about this pair of shoes is the upper. Like, look at it. It's a lot of synthetic. It's a lot of fused material. It kind of looks like, if I just had to look at these things and be like, what's the price tag? I'd say like 120 bucks, 130. That'd be pretty solid. I think this would be pretty cool. But no, Nike is going to be charging $190 for these things. That to me is just too much. I just don't think that these could possibly be a $190 pair of shoes. Either way, these are going to debut for Air Max Day, which is during March. I think it's like March the 26th or something. We've also got official images of another colorway, this silver one, which I do actually like because they've added a little bit of a differentiating factor here. You've got like these mesh side panels which move up the side, which I think is a really cool look. Who knows? I might be judging these things too quick and it could be a really solid pair of shoes. I like the look of them. I'm just looking at the materials and I'm looking at the quality and everything, and I'm just like, 190 is just too much. Now, this one did genuinely get people riled up. This was pretty crazy to see because it's a industry first. We have never seen this before. A Mamanyer just put a Nike swoosh on a Converse Chuck 70. So this is like the surprise while you were sleeping 7th pair that they're going to be doing. Obviously, we've seen like all of the other 6 pairs. So this is a big deal because obviously Nike acquired Converse and this has never been done before, but people have tried. So I believe the first was Chinatown Market when they did a collaboration with Nike. They tried to put a Nike swoosh on it, and then I can't remember, Nike sued them or something. Maybe it wasn't even a collaboration or something like that. I know that some drama went down. That shoe never came to light. And then Virgil tried to put a Nike swoosh on a pair of Converses, and Nike said, no, you're not doing that. So for some reason, they finally were like, fine, you can do this, and they said yes to a Mamanyer. So it's pretty crazy to see that Nike actually allowed this. However, this is not a GR pair of shoes. What they did was make this basically a friends and family version. So there's just 50 pairs in the UK and 100 pairs in the US. So 150 pairs of these things in total exist. I'm sure they'll make the resale market at some point, but it's definitely interesting to see, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Would you rock a pair of Chuck Taylors with a Nike swoosh on it? Nike just caved and decided to start competing with New Balance and Asics in their affordable lineup. So one of the most popular shoes this year has been the Asics 1130. Those are like $100. And of course, we have New Balance with the 740s and the 530. Well, now Nike has just unveiled a V5 Runner, which is going to be debuting next year, and it's only $90. So we've got a bunch of different official images of some of the colorways that are going to be like up first. We've got a triple black, we've got a metallic gold, and then a metallic green. This looks very interesting. I wonder how it's going to do, because I know that this segment of the market is very, very popular. Like, affordable retro runners is booming, obviously with Asics, with New Balance. So it makes sense if Nike drops a pair and they're actually good shoes, that these things would be incredibly popular. I think one of the most affordable shoes that Nike has at the moment is the P6000, and those are, you know, they're okay. They're not the best. Like, definitely Asics and New Balance blow them out of the water in terms of comfort, and you could argue design as well. But this one, if it's got a nice soft midsole, the upper looks decent. Like, I really do like the paneling on it, and even the colors are pretty sick. And for 90 bucks, these could be a banger for next year, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Either way, these are the official images, and again, a spring 2025 release. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you think about Nike trying to compete. All right, let's get into this. The most surprising, shocking things that happen in sneakers this year. I saw this article by Complex, and then I thought, like, we got to go through this because I just love like a little 2024 recap. I think it would be pretty cool to do. So first one, Nigo and Nike ads were better than the shoes. I actually have to agree, because the ads were so good. Honestly, I haven't tried this pair of shoes out, so it's not like I can give you a, you know, a guaranteed thing that these are bad shoes. I don't know what they feel like on foot. I don't know how good the quality is. I don't really mind the look, except for like this colorway. The colorways have definitely been pretty wild, but yeah, I'd probably agree with this one. The ads were really, really solid. Next one on the list is the Wu-Tang Nike Dunk Highs coming back. This was pretty massive, and it was pretty insane to see. And it's always like, the idea was so much bigger than the reality. Like the reality, it happened, they dropped. You know, nobody was going crazy. It wasn't the most like insane thing. It didn't blow our minds like we would have thought that it would. A couple of years ago, we would have never imagined that this would have happened. So it was pretty crazy to see this one go down. I'll definitely agree with this one. Reselling basically being dead. This one, maybe it's a little bit controversial. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely not as popular as it was in the past few years. But I do also think like it was a perfect storm in like 2020 until 2023. Like obviously with the pandemic, the stimulus checks, it just cooked up. Like everybody was starting a reselling side hustle. Resellers took over, and yeah, it definitely had such a high peak that it was only ever going to come down. Asics being the top brand. This one, I don't know if it's necessarily that surprising because it kind of seems like we had a lot of time to see this coming. With the rise of New Balance and the retro runner line, like Nike had a lot of popular retro runners like the Vomero 5s and stuff like that. So then Asics being the number one just because they have like super comfortable and super like, you know, affordable options, it kind of makes sense. Now, I guess if you look at it just from the perspective of like all of a sudden, you know, Asics was a pair of shoes that my dad would wear, and then now it's like doing collaborations and it's reselling and it's like one of the most hyped shoes. You look at it like that, it's definitely like, that's pretty surprising. Yeezy's just going away. This was definitely one of the most surprising things for 2024. Like I did not see this coming. The way that Yeezys just disappeared was pretty insane. Like 2023, a lot of people were really interested in like the whole story of Yeezy and Adidas. They ended the contract. We knew that Adidas had a ton of pairs to sell off. They did a couple drops in 2023. So we assumed that like it would stay this super special, hyped up thing. You know, nobody's going to get Yeezys again. So it's like buy up as many pairs as you can because this collaboration is just going to fade away. But then in 2024, they slashed prices. You could buy Yeezys for $30 at outlets. And it just kind of, I don't know, it put, I guess, like a bad image in people's minds about Yeezy shoes because they associated them with like cheap stuff that nobody wants, and then it just kind of like faded away, and you don't really see people wearing Yeezys that often anymore, at least in the mainstream. I mean, I still have plenty of Yeezys, still love them, they're like still one of my favorite shoes, but yeah, Yeezys going away was definitely pretty surprising. And then last one, Anthony Edwards having the sneaker of the year. I mean, this one's really subjective. It's like, do you think he had the best sneaker of the year or not? In my opinion, no. Definitely one of the best, but not the best. Either way, it's a solid pair of shoes. I don't know, like sneaker of the year thing is just so subjective and they make it such a big deal. Kids of Immigrants surprise Nike Sunder Max. Is this like a paid freaking placing? Like why is this here? Maybe I'm out of the loop on this one. Oh, okay, so basically it says here, it's kind of like a, I guess, an endorsement thing. Many people weren't even familiar with the brand. The company had been a mainstay at Complex Con. So this is a Complex article. Makes sense they would put this on the list, but I mean, I don't know. With these even top 10, I don't even pick them up. I don't know. Maybe I'm sleeping on these. Let me know down in the comments. Supreme's Nike Air Max DN. This one, so why is this on the list? The Air Max DN is not it. Okay, so that's how they start these things. There's some people love the shoes. You see them here and there, but it's not groundbreaking model that Nike touted it out to be. I guess it being the flagship puts a lot of pressure on its shoulders. I think it's a good pair of shoes. Like it's comfortable, but it's nothing crazy. Like it is just another pair of Air Maxes. I don't know, it has a decent look to it, but it's definitely nothing crazy. Maybe they did hype it up a little bit too much. Nike was saying like this is groundbreaking and it's got like this new futuristic air unit in the back where it like compresses and moves between chambers. All of that is just marketing talk. These things feel just like any other shoe. It doesn't feel crazy on foot at all. That is it for the list. I don't know. Do you agree with this list? Are those the most surprising things? I could think of a lot more. Maybe I'll make my own list at some point in the future. If you'd like to see that, let me know down in the comment section. That wraps it up for Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. All of the details are down in the comment section. And remember that if I pick you on Wednesday, you have 24 hours to reply. So make sure you comment on this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to check out another video, click that one right over there.